So hey, let's go touch that sweet hammer.
Nice.
You may have conspicuously noticed that it healed us, so...
You plan on using them hands ever again? You best not go touching that one ain't yours. Oh, Thane. You know me, but I don't know you. And I don't like strangers. Especially the uninvited kind. And maybe who you are don't matter as much as what you want.
I've come for the Black Hammer.
Really now? Well, you're welcome to give it another go. After that, I best not catch you around here again.
It's you,
What's that now?
the Black Hammer. It's you.
Do your worst. But let me tell you a little secret, boy. The one in the dirt is by far the easier of the two.
Cool.
So this is Ulthane.
He seems friendly. No, relatively.
He's a pretty nice guy.
There's the shockwave.
So yeah, you can do a lot of stuff, but eventually the game will pretty much just spell it out that you're gonna have to get something with a little more oomph behind it if you want to make any headway against him.
Sure is fortunate that there are all these cars here.
Yeah, even the cars aren't gonna cut it.
So, I guess this is just a tutorial-ish.
I ain't been tagged in millennia.
Yeah.
Ah, but we have some
100 years.
visitors.
Since the day Abaddon was taken from us, I have prayed for this moment. For your crimes, I would see you tried in the White City. But until this world is free of the Destroyer, its gates are closed to us, and justice will not wait. I sentence you here and now!
Your justice can wait till we finish our little scrap, missy. There ain't no sport in jumping into a tussle that don't concern you. Go on, fly away, pigeons, before I pluck ya.
Blasphemer! It is you who take sides in a battle that doesn't concern you!
Please, allow me. That's what you get for touching what ain't yours. I'd duck if I were you.
Cutscene direction.
I'm not entirely sure how he got back on top of that building after he was down here fighting us, but details.
They couldn't tie together the cutscenes and the encounter that closely. Best not to question.
Anyway, so welcome to the gimmick of this area. It's a kill contest between you and Ulthane.
Okay. I mean, sure. That's, like, actually really good. I don't know why we don't get literally this exact thing more often in more other video games. Seriously, this is actually really good.
Say, unlike the last kill challenge on the Panzer Dragoon segment, this one, there is a trophy for beating Ulthane, and it is extremely easy to get.
I can imagine.
We'll talk about that a little bit later. The reason is that halfway through they give you some there's a circumstance which makes it extremely obvious what you're supposed to do.
But yeah, like, now that I have known about this for, like, an entire half-minute, this has got that exact, blindingly obvious in retrospect vibe to it. That you want more of these kinds of things in video games, where you get into fights with somebody and then that fight turns into a, well, you're fighting with them. But you're also still competing against them. Very extremely video games. And I can respect it.
But yeah, so altogether there's about 75 kills available across the whole thing. So, yeah, so as long as you can get about 40 of them, you're golden.
See, that's the kind of thing that's very good to know, but also quite difficult to justify telling a player up front. That's the kind of intractable game design problem that I can never know what to do with. And even then, that's really only a problem to people like me who get fixated on these details.
So you might have noticed that there was an ice block blocking this way, and that Ulthane destroyed it. So that is maybe a clue for how we might destroy some ice blocks of our own.
Hum. I'm not sure what I think about his calling them pigeons. I mean, I get it, but... yeah. I guess not every dialogue line can be golden.
Unfortunately, you are going to hear him calling them pigeons a lot in this segment.
That was my fear. I guess there has to be budget constraints somewhere.
Bring him to justice.
It's also important to note that you absolutely can snipe his kills, like I just did right there.
Yeah, that's extremely good to know. Like, when I said this was extremely video games, this was pretty much exactly what I meant. The kind of nifty contest that... actually, that's a point. How much does it matter whether or not you beat him?
Oh, it doesn't at all.
Game continues either way.
Yeah, you get a special reward and trophy for beating him, but the actual game does not matter.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds like video games. Well, this seems like a pretty good way to make friends.
I mean, is this not what you do in general? You know, take a mate out to the pub, and then, you know, on the way back, just slaughter hundreds of demons on the way back?
Figuratively, maybe. But no, it's like... I don't know how many more variations on this is good I can find, but like... This is like... This is the narrative video game equivalent of showing people things. Like, I could very easily see a game falling for the temptation of just making this a cutscene. I don't know, it's not very much of a thing, and yet it seems very right, somehow. It's extremely, like, PS2 era video games. It's earnest, though. Like, it is what it is, and it has the problems that it has, but one of the things that I always come back to about a game is that you can just tell when a game's being earnest about what it is. And this comes off in the good light. It gets the seal of approval.
So Ulthane will occasionally yell at us to go do something, usually to let him advance so that he can let us advance and, you know, all that.
Yeah, but we're busy.
But it's also it's important to note, though, that there are some goodies hidden around this area, so...
I had full faith. Like, I did not once doubt that there would be cause to interrupt this perfectly paced, flowing gameplay sequence and go and dig around and pick things up.
I mean, you can do it when you come back, like, because you can come back into this area later, and that's... You can get them then. It's not like they're permanently lost or anything, but...
Yeah, but that would be suboptimal.
Like you say, but that's backtracking, and we don't like that here.
In this house, we play video games optimally. We collect 100% of the things at the first available opportunity. And we like it.
So you may notice that our friend has a little something there.
Yeah.
So this is the key to shattering this little game over your knee.
I see.
So here's our cannon, and we're just gonna use it to clean up literally everything.
Nice. This... Well, Christ, I'm gonna say it again. This is extremely video games. It's like... Why is this a thing? And yet, this could not possibly not have been a thing. This segment just, like, conceptually, elementally needs this.
If you get far enough ahead of him, Althane will start being like, well, now you're just showing off.
I heard. Does this thing have, like, ammo?
No, this thing does not have ammo. You have an infinite use laser cannon that just completely fucks up everything in this section. The sole restriction on it is that you can't jump with it.
Well, that seems not especially restricting, really. Like, what's there even to jump for here? Is it at least slightly difficult to aim with?
No, not really. It's a pretty standard, like, third-person camera. No harder to use than, say, the boomerang is. Like I said, it completely trivializes this section, but it's so satisfying.
Yeah, I think we have just this second hit the point where this starts being maybe a bit much. Like, I don't know, unless there's a big surprise coming, I feel like this section ought to just end right about here.
We're close. I don't know what point Althane breaks that ice for us, but we're very close to it, though.
I mean, you said there were 75 total, so there are extremely not a whole lot left. And at this point, we should be able to just call the mercy rule.
Yeah, there we go. So this is pretty much the last big section here.
I mean, I guess it's something that they have a ranged attack, and they can shoot you right back.
Yeah, I mean, there are angels that are going around that also have cannons.
And don't think I didn't notice that you were down to your last health bar briefly for a second before. So it's good to know it's not a total formality.
Yeah, no, I mean, there are plenty of health boxes around if you care to look, but you say, honestly, like I said, the solution, like most things, is to just keep a couple of health potions on hand and chug at your, earliest convenience.
Also, I know we were, like, in the city before, but it seems a whole lot better from this perspective, from this distance.
It seems better, as in like
It's like more of an atmosphere that I can appreciate. It's got a tiny bit of the Nier Automata vibe to it. Only a tiny bit though.
yeah, I can kind of see that.
Also, we're at 76.
Anyway, while we walk ourselves off a cliff, it's okay though. There are like 8 more cannons just lying around, so
Oh, good. But hold up, we've got stuff to do.
yeah, he's gonna yell at us for taking too long, but there is a thing that we should go grab while we're here.
I mean, I don't know why he's still bothering with the contest at this point. I mean, we have literally double his score. It seems like it is actually impossible for him to catch up. And that's assuming that we just do nothing, which, you know, we're, like, not.
For some reason, I always feel like there should be an artifact down there somewhere, but, like, there's not.
Yeah, it's a not heart piece. I don't mean it's like the piece of heart analog, I mean it's a piece of something that is not heart. I don't really know how to negate that sentence fully.
It's like a magic container of sorts.
Yeah. Everyone knows what I mean. I just felt like harping on it for some kind of semblance of doing a bit. Anyway, it's gone awfully quiet round here.
Yeah, that would be because we have killed all of them.
Good times.
You won. Fair and square.
I like him. He's down for a friendly violence off.
You'll go nowhere, horseman. You cannot escape your fate. Abaddon will be avenged. Defend yourself, traitor.
Anyway, let's have a surprise boss fight against Uriel.
Just thinking about you. I'll settle for watching you do it.
I mean, the only real surprise is that we're having it now. I thought she'd pissed off.
But yeah, so she's got a couple attacks. She'll do that little charge up for her sword, and then she can... She has, you said, she has the dive bomb, or she can shoot an energy wave at us, but...
Seems pretty standard winged swordsman stuff, really.
It is. There's really not much to her.
I don't know. Sometimes fights don't need all that much. Sometimes they just gotta have the fundamentals. This is the point where it starts occurring to me that if I wasn't sticking to the blind thing, would I start asking about whether we were gonna have a rival to fight.
Also, that sure was some hitboxes.
Yeah. Bye.
Could be you really are who you say. Them pigeons seem mighty convinced, but I ain't. So once again, you know me, but I still don't know you.
The Griever's lair.
The Griever's beyond here. Had to seal these passages up tight to keep our pets out of my yard. Little bastards kept dropping by uninvited, taking things what don't belong to them.
I am who I claim to be.
You kill that Griever. Even make it back out of that hole, that'll be proof enough. Then, I promise, we'll have words. Now get off of my property, before more pigeons come looking at crap in me yard.
Fair enough.
So, it is kind of important to note that we are officially now locked into the next segment. There is no Volgrim to go back to, and no way to restock. Because once you jump down this hole, you cannot come back up. That ice blocks the top of the vines.
That's a moderate failure of video games. It seems like there could be more egregious points of no return than this. I mean, how unwinnable can you possibly make it at this point?
I mean, when it autosaves, it does checkpoint your health. So if you came out of the Uriel fight extremely fucked up, you would be in for a very rough time in the next room. So yes, I would agree that this is a very unnecessary...
Yeah, like at least a shop, surely. I mean, the standard video game thing to do at this point would be to have a shop, and then they'd have like a stock, oh no, fast travel isn't working right now thing. Like, that's a video games thing.
Yeah, not quite here.
Oh well. I guess of all the ideas to pinch off of Zelda, that one never occurred to them.
So, welcome to the Hollows. We have found the subway.
Cool. This sounds like many opportunities to have an aesthetic.
Also, here's the next boss.
Yeah. Not kidding around then. Straight to business. Respect.
Yeah? So, I'm sure you can guess, this is not actually the fight against the boss, but,
The thought occurred to me. I guess we have now been nicely conditioned to shoot ice with the yellow laser guns.
But yeah, so this fight will end after you shoot her in the face enough, but...
You know, unlike other fights.
Right, but it is extremely difficult to dodge her laser when you are using the cannon. So... yeah, this can go south really quick if you're not careful.
Yeah, I can imagine how this might be a huge pain if you're not on, like, full health. That is kind of a dick move.
But yeah, so that's the Griever. Welcome to Dungeon 2, everybody.
Yay?